This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Thing, there he is, the man, the myth, the legend. It is Joe Schad. As we get ready for the game, Joe, good morning, sir. How are you doing, my friend?
What's up, Big O? Doing well here in Tampa.
I like it. I like it. Did you go to Burns Steakhouse last night? What'd you do last night?
No Burns. Apparently, it was difficult to get a Saturday night reservation, so we just went to the Rocco's Tacos. Always enjoyed the Rocco's Tacos.
Yeah, you can't miss with Rocco's Tacos. They always do an excellent job. You're right about that. All right, let's get into it. When I saw some of the moves this week, and then right before game time now, we see Isaiah Ford get elevated and Jabal Shear. Is it Miami activating Shear because they want to add a little bit more to their pass rush?
Yeah, Sheard is a veteran, and the Dolphins made a savvy move, adding him to the practice squad in anticipation of activating him at some point. He's a guy who's provided some pass rush and has also been capable against the run. He's the kind of guy that you want to see added here, Big O, a guy who can provide some veteran leadership, some stability. It's obviously a very young roster. And so, look, he's a solid player. Elevating Isaiah Ford ahead of Kirk Merritt surprised some. But, Ford is a guy who's very trusted by the coaching staff. He has, sure hands. He can actually return a punt in a pinch if the Dolphins needed a sure-handed punt return guy, as opposed to going for a big return with a Jalen Waddle or a Javon Holland. So, with Devontae Parker being down in this game and Will Fuller also being out in this game, that's a big challenge for Jacoby Brissett and the Finns.
Joe, when we look at this game, obviously the way the Miami Dolphins have played the first month, it's hard to imagine that you're going to win this game. You know what I mean? But should Dolphin fans find some kind of hope in the fact that Flores has beaten Brady 2 years ago in Foxborough? Last year, Matt Patricia, also was able to beat Brady. You look 2 weeks ago, New England Patriots, they lost to Brady, but it was a tight 17-16 game. It was, within 1 point or whatever it was that game. So there wasn't a lot of scoring. Is there something about the Patriots and the ex-Patriot coaches that they have a way of slowing him down? And can Miami do that today?
I think it's good that the Dolphins have had some success against Tom Brady in the past. 3-3 in their last 6 games. They've defeated him 12 times overall. They've intercepted him 27 times. Guys like Xavier Howard have had multiple interception games against Tom Brady. Eric Rowe has intercepted Tom Brady. The Dolphins catch a break in that Byron Jones and Xavier Howard are both healthy and eligible for this game. So you need to have a lot of defensive backs with excellent coverage skills to have a chance against Tom Brady. And the Dolphins do have that. So I agree with you. I feel a little bit more confident about the Dolphins' chances to stay in this game defensively, Big O, than offensively. Offensively is going to be a massive challenge because you'd like to run the football, but the Bucs are number 1 in the NFL in run defense. And obviously the Dolphins still have a lot of problems on their offensive line and now a reduction in weapons. So who gets involved? Obviously, you need Jalen Waddle and Mike Gesicki involved more. Maybe you get Myles Gaskin involved more in the receiving game. Does Preston Williams, does the light bulb finally come on for Preston Williams? This is the game. Preston Williams has wanted this opportunity. He was not happy to be a healthy scratch recently. And so, you know what? If you are healthy, show the world that you still have some of that unicorn status in you that you showed as a rookie.
I'm with you there. Now, before we get to the offense and ask you, let me follow up on the defensive side. That when I talked to you about getting after Brady, Jalen Phillips has been showing some signs now. Christian Wilkins has improved his play. Emmanuel Ogbah has actually played well so far in the first month. I know that a lot of people, it's hard to point out a lot of players who are playing well for the Dolphins in the first month, but Ogbah has actually done a nice job overall in the first month of the season. Pass rush, yeah, we know the secondary's got to stay with those amazing receivers, but the pass rush for the Dolphins, is it getting to the point where it can make an impact in this game today?
I think the Bucks have a decent offensive line, and obviously Brady is so hard to sack in general. The metrics are interesting on this thing. The Dolphins are one of the worst teams in the NFL at sacks, even though they blitz about as much as everyone. But they have created some pressures and hurries, and they have some quarterback hits. Guys like Ogba and Phillips and Van Ginkel and Guavin have been just sort of a step slow in the first 4 games of the season. So it's very, you generally don't want to blitz Tom Brady. And so I would guess that the Dolphins will back off on the blitz and hope that Jalen Phillips can make one of those great plays that he showed last week. I mean, there was that one play in particular that you might have seen on social media where he converted speed to power, bull rushed past an offensive tackle and put him on skates. Very impressive. I mean, this guy is the complete package from a physical standpoint, Jalen Phillips. And so it's nice to see Josh Boyer and Brian Flores give him a chance to just rush the passer, not worry about having to drop back into coverage and just get after the quarterback. And, I think he got a half sack last week. Maybe he finds a way to get his first full sack this week.
All right, Joe, I'm going to ask you the impossible freaking question. How do you get Jacoby Brissett to play better, my brother? He plays scared. He leaves plays on the field. He doesn't take the chances that he needs to take when there are open field receivers downfield. He'll still be kind of a check down Charlie in a way. He doesn't open it up till the end of the game when there's desperation. I know you guys asked and talked to the offensive coordinator about this week. What do you do, my brother? Because if you're going to win a game like this, you've got to have some aggressiveness to this whole thing. You've got to take advantage of situations that might come up in this game. You're not going to get a lot of them against that defense. So when does Jacoby become an opportunistic player?
Well, this is his last chance, right? I mean, all signs are that Tua is on track for London. So what I wrote in the Palm Beach Post was, let it fly. Let it fly. What do you have to lose, man? Let it go. All those dreams you had about wearing a Dolphins uniform as a kid in Palm Beach County, try to make them come to life. Talk them into existence. And but the problem is that without Will Fuller and Devontae Parker, to George Godsey and Eric Stoodsville and Charlie Fry and all those guys, when they come together in the room to try to figure out a way to win, and Brian Flores, do they say, well, you know what, guys, as much as we wanted to attack this Bucs defense, which is worse than the league in pass defense, the best chance for us to win is still to kind of play it conservative. A lot of short passes to Jalen Waddle, maybe get Hunter Long involved across the middle, Adam Shaheen involved. I mean, listen, the Dolphins don't have a lot of receivers today, but Mike Gesicki's a receiver. Hunter Long is a receiver. You know what I mean? Myles Gaskin can be. Savon Ahmed can do the same things Jakeem Grant did. I would have more confidence. I would have as much confidence in Savon Ahmed running a Jakeem Grant or Albert Wilson route as Jakeem Grant or Albert Wilson. So who knows? The problem is they haven't come up with the solutions yet. Savon Ahmed should be a part of the solution. Myles Gaskin should be more a part of the solution. Adam Shaheen and Hunter Long, figure out a way to capitalize on their strengths. It hasn't happened yet, man. It's been very disappointing, very frustrating. Maybe we see that they actually come up with some solutions today.
Yeah, let's hope so. I would love to see Savon Ahmed become a bigger part of the offense, especially as a wide receiver coming out of the backfield. I think he can create all kinds of mismatches. In fact, I haven't seen enough of those guys as receivers out of the backfield, and I think they can be real weapons. One more thing before I let you go. Raekwon Davis, how big of a factor do you think he can be today? Because that's a guy they sorely missed.
I'm not sure how many snaps Raekwon Davis is going to play. Head coach Brian Flores admitted that he is rusty, and he looked rusty from what we could see in the limited practice. But even if he can only play 20 snaps in critical run situations, I think that will be very helpful, because as good a veteran as John Jenkins is, he's nowhere close to the player on run defense as Raekwon Davis is.
So I would imagine you have the Bucks in your prediction, right? Today?
Yeah, Bucks by a lot, but I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, me too. I hope you're wrong because I've had enough of losing for the last couple of weeks. I would like to start picking up some wins. It's a lot better to do a post-game show after a win than it is after a loss, just like you. It's a lot better to deal with players and coaches after a win than after a loss. It's, the people don't realize how much we'd rather cover winning. Losing is not fun for especially for a writer when you got to go in there and ask somebody, Hey, tell me about your failures. I mean, it's tough, dude. It's tough. I know it ain't easy.
Schedules remaining, but what does that mean at 1-4? 1-4 is Panic City, baby, as Tampa's Dick Vitale would say.
Yeah, I know. You're right about that. All right, Joe. Enjoy the game, my brother. As always, we enjoy your insight, my man. Thank you. Be good. There you go. The American Dream Lending Miami Dolphins report.